What I'm trying to say in the final analysis, once we take control of ourselves, we have to stop being imitators and be innovators. We realize we've got a continent 12 million square miles. Wherever our bodies are on the face of this earth, our cultural and political heartbeat is in Africa. Whether you ever go to Africa or not, that is your home, that is the home of your spirit, and that is the heart and meaning and definition of your commitment. And none of us, any place in the world, will be free until that continent is free.
The Mossi warrior clan was created because myself and others like Brother Nahisi saw a need for a young African group to analyze information concerning the African phenomenon with no bias, with rigor, and with scholarship. We created the Mossi warrior clan for the purpose of being an expert research team, of being a team that produced products, a team that was capable of producing products for African people globally to dispel myths, rumors, and provide them with accurate scholarship.
Trumpetts tried to line it up, and he was like, I don't debate y'all. Y'all too disrespectful. Aboriginal Power won't even debate Sean because he too disrespectful.
He is though. No, he really is though. I can't really like you, bro. You cool. Not a coincidence. I actually chop it up, but niggas that come off too heated and disrespectful, like I said, I'll debate you, bro. But we gotta get in the ring first. If you want to be disrespectful like that, at least disrespect me in the ring, bro. Let's start now, bro. Can you disrespect me in a cage, bro? Like, I'd rather just do that. Then we go straight from the cage. I mean, put your ice on the way to the motherfucking computer, and we'll debate directly after that, nigga. Shit.
That's why I don't even be. Fucking with the nigga and shit. You feel me? Like, it's like, wait, bro, talk like that. We gotta get face to face with you to talk to you like that, my nigga.
Yeah, Peanut. You feel me? Go ahead, I got my brother already. Peanut, what's the word, my brother?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man, but Lucky, let me say this, man. First of all, I'm an older brother. I'm young in spirit as I stay in shape. And I'm older. I deserve respect. Don't lie on me. You're not going to get nowhere lying, because that's what's going to make you fall face first. Second of all, I'm well known in the Pan-African community. I'm not nobody new. You're younger than me. You don't know this. I didn't put in work and expose Rob Bourne, Sue-Tech, any of them people over there. They know it deep down inside. And I'm gonna be long-winded. I'm a Moorish American. I already had back and forth with them dude. They erased videos. I'm not running from anybody. Don't ever say that stupid shit again. Third, and last but not least, I'm not losing no debate to no Pan-African. So don't ever say that shit again, famo. And that's it. Appreciate y'all, man.
You heard that? If Sean P want to debate, tell him to debate the champ over there, right?
Sue-Tech wanted so this like it's a pecking order. It's a pecking. So Sean want you and Sue-Tech want him. You say PMF ain't
It's no problem. It's no problem, man. Let's set up a Sue-Tech debate, man. I don't like him anyway.
Okay, so I love that son, brother. I love that warrior mentality.
That's how it's going. I love to tell Sue-Tech, tell me. There ain't nothing. My champ always in the chat. Have him pop in. We'll set a topic. We'll set a date. We'll make it pay-per-view. We'll chop it up behind the scenes. I get their contact. We'll make it work. You know? So, right. He ain't ducking no phase, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. He do this over here on y'all channel, and then when we get in other
hey, all right, I will block your ass, nigga, because I'm well known for disrupting them chats over there. Nigga, stop fucking lying, nigga. You a goofy, nigga. I would never let a lame ass nigga lie on me in my face, clown.
You gonna block me?
It ain't no time I ain't ever been on the Pan-African channel and made my impact. Stop lying. I'm a real man, bro. Stop lying, fam. Don't do PNF like that.
PNF, he trying to trigger you, brother. And
what the fuck up?
But listen, he did that to me, talking about, oh, word on the street, I'm ducking from John P. I've never even had but one conversation with this little disrespectful motherfucker.
Oh, okay, yeah, he a little hot. He like that.
So he like...
Y'all find an African in my fucking family, but y'all ain't find y'all.
Genealogy.
Shut the fuck up. That don't make sense, for one. Listen, y'all don't know what y'all did.
I feel like you standing on business.
Y'all lied on me, because y'all don't even know if that's me. And if y'all can trace that shit back to it's me, it's only 2 people in YouTube that got my information.
Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of meat. Half of this track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us honestly. You ain't a Cherokee, nope. You ain't a Chickasaw, nope. You ain't a Blackfoot, nope. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an ABOS slipping with his genealogy. Now he's a con and I ain't talking about a singer. I'm coming for the top ABOS leader. He ain't a teacher, he's a preacher. He can't keep up, so we leave him. Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of the track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us possibly. You ain't a Cherokee, no. You ain't a Chickasaw, no. You ain't a Blackfoot. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an ABOS slipping off his genealogy. Now he's a con. OTK. TKO. Now he's a con. OTK. You died. TKO. Genealogy.
Peace to everybody in the chat. It's your boy Sean P in the place to be. Please like the show, share the show, tell a friend, we said what's up. One second, y'all. Please like the show, share the show, man. We're gonna get it cracking. I ain't gonna waste no time. Open panel, link in the chat. I'm gonna get into the bill, and then whoever wanna join. But I'm pretty sure y'all gonna, pretty sure y'all gonna kind of duck this smoke. Pretty sure. Based on how all the behaviors have been, especially on my Facebook post the last 24 hours, y'all gonna duck this smoke. Y'all got a lot to say, but ain't got a lot to prove. No proof. Just your opinion. And then taking a position and trying to defend it unknowingly without evidence. It's weird to me. So I want to revisit the video. Let's start right here. I want to revisit the video that we played the other day. Before we do that, I need to properly define something first. So I don't know how many people are familiar with pseudo-linguistics. There's a reason why I have this on the screen. So in short, pseudo-linguistics is someone imitating some qualities of language. An earlier stage in language acquisition, babbling. It's straight up linguistic pseudo-scholarship. This is what it may mean. Okay, so you hear pseudo-linguistics, that's that. Also, you hear things like pseudo-language comparison. This is pseudo-scientific language comparison is a form of pseudo-scholarship that aims to establish historical associations between languages by naive postulations of similarities between them. While comparative linguistics also studies how languages are historically related, linguistic comparisons are deemed pseudo-scientific when they do not follow the established practices. Okay, pseudo-scientific language comparisons is usually performed by people with little or no specialization in the field of comparative linguistics. It is a widespread type of linguistic pseudoscience. So if you do not follow the proper method, if you do not perform that specialized method in comparing languages, it is considered pseudoscientific language comparisons. So Now that we got a little basic understanding of that, we're going to revisit a video from the other day, and we're just going to get the party starter right here. First up, all the way through, I'm going to do my best to shut the hell up.
And we go into it. The data's there. And so when you look at those people from Mexico, and he's talking about the Negro presence, this is the Negro presence that's still there today.
So, question for you, brother. All right, when it comes to the Mayan people, I've seen pictures where
my bad. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if y'all can hear that. Let me know if y'all can hear that in the chat. I got like way too many screens open. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yeah, we back to that. What is my tripping right now? Hold on, bro. This mug is going through the ringer. Oh, I gotta close something out, so it's loading back up. I don't know what I just did. I hit something and it started trying to download a file. All right. I'm gonna leave it just like it's right here. Man, this must be one of them Saturdays.
And so when you look at those people from Mexico, and he's talking about the Negro presence, this is the Negro presence that's still there today.
So, question for you, brother. All right, when it comes to the Mayan people, I've seen pictures where they got the dark skin, they have the locks. Where did they go, bro? Because the people that we see today in Mexico, we know that that's not the same. Where did the Mayans end up?
Well, they only show you a certain group of people.
Right.
So that's media trained stuff. But when you go to those places in Mexico, there are people that look just like me and you there. They just happen to speak Spanish. You see what I'm saying? Which when we get into the whole Spanish thing, which is a whole nother story, you don't find people in Portugal or Spain speaking Spanish before they come over here. Why? I'm gonna just leave that in the air. Why are English people not speaking English, American English, before they come to America?
Wow.
Why is there hundreds of thousands of indigenous words in the Spanish and English language? When you say hey and hello, that's indigenous. Hell, a lot of the college teams use indigenous terms to describe their team.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, man.
You ever been to Carolina? Everybody likes the Tar Heels. Well, let's do a Google search of where the Blackfoot's at.
Yeah, hold on, bro. Hey, your brother Aboriginal Power is cooking, because that term, you know, everybody gets caught up in the Carolina blue, but not just breaking down the name Tar Heel. Blackfoot.
What's a Tar Heel?
Black.
A black what?
Blackfoot.
That's where the Blackfeet at.
Blackfoot.
Blackfoot Indians. I mean, it's literally giving you reference. They literally give you the reference. When you look at the Merlin terrapins, what is a terrapin?
Try to show you it's a turtle.
That's an Algonquin word, which means turtle.
Wow.
You see, they put it right in front of our faces, and they try to reverse it and then flood you and hope that you forget about it, which so happily we are creatures of amnesia.
Yes,
we forget. That's why we write things down. This is why we have records. And so they play off of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if my screen is still sharing, but we're going to get into some more.
Yeah.
Here goes some images of, this is some Olmecs.
Come on. Yeah.
With afros, very rare.
I was about to say, I can see the hair. Yeah.
With the rat tails going down, or braids, or dreads, whatever your mind speculates. More images.
Can't deny this one right here.
More indigenous people. This is a festival, a spiritual ceremony going into the, I think, spring equinox.
Wow.
Image of the warrior of the temple. You see
that's hard right there. Yeah. Dang.
This is inside the warrior of the temples. You see the women, you see the working, you see the building of the brick. You see it's a lot of going on in this particular photo. You see the lining up, the festival, the picking of his wife. They all coming with trinkets. It's a lot going on, and you see the rest of that. They're all coming with their.
So, is this still on the walls in Mexico, brother?
Absolutely.
And nobody talks about this.
They don't. We're going to talk about it, though. And we go into.
All right, so y'all heard him, right? That the name Tar Heel comes from the Blackfeet. And where the Blackfeet Indian located? That's right, my brothers and sisters. What y'all just witnessed was pseudo-linguistics. So on North Carolina's alumni page, what's in the name? Why we're all called Tar Heels? This is on the alumni page. We all have had to deal with the problem at one point or another, particularly when we go abroad, more than 2 states away, and declare our state of residence. Oh, that's such a beautiful state, folks respond before pausing. But why are you called Tar Heels? The why comes easily, but when it all started takes explaining. In fact, history shows that North Carolina residents have taken an albatross from around their necks and pinned it on their chests like a badge of honor. The monarchy is rooted in the state's earliest history, derived from the production of naval stores, tar, pitch, turpentine, extracted from the vast pine forests of the state. Early explorers from Jamestown pointed out the possibilities of naval stores, productions along the Chowan River. Eventually, Parliament offered a bounty for their production, and North Carolina became an important source of tar and pitch for the English Navy. For several years before the American Revolution, the colony shipped more than 100,000 barrels of tar and pitch annually to England. The distillation process for tar and pitch was messy and smelly. Rich pine logs were stacked, covered with earth and burned. The tar ran out through channels dug on the lower side of the pile. Because of this product so extensively produced in North Carolina, the people of the state were called tar boilers. According to the first volume of Cincinnati Miscellany in the Ohio Journal published in 1845. 43 years later, the poet Walter Whitman also recorded that the people of North Carolina were called tar boilers. In both cases, the name clearly was applied in derision and then, hold on, I had a weird smell. Oh, okay. Plug in. In May of 1856, Harper's Magazine mentioned someone who lost his way among the pine woods that abound in that tar and turpentine state. While 1876 book, Centennial Exposition describes someone who spent his youth in the good old tar and turpentine state. A story that at best must be considered folklore states that when Lord Cornwallis troops forded the Tar River in the early 1781 route to Yorktown, they emerged with tar on their feet. This marked their passage through North Carolina as Tar Heels. The tar reputedly had been hastily dumped into the river to prevent the British from capturing it. This story cannot be traced beyond the 20th century and may have been made up to suggest the naming of the river. But when beyond doubt, did the term Tar Heel begin to be applied to North Carolinians? Clearly during the Civil War, in the third volume of Walter Clark's History of Several Regiments from North Carolina in the Great War of 1861 and 65, published in 1901. James Ray of Asheville records two incidents of 1863 that suggested the nickname's original application. In a fierce battle in Virginia, where the supporting column was driven from the field, North Carolina troops stood alone and fought successfully. The victorious troops were asked in condescending tone by some Virginians who had retreated, "Any more tar down in old North State, boys?" The response came quickly, "No, not a bit. Old Jeff's bought it all." "Is that so? What is he going to do with it?" the Virginians asked. "He is going to put it on your heels to make you stick better in the next fight." After the Battle of Murfreesboro in Tennessee in early January 1863, John S. Preston of Columbia, South Carolina, the commanding general, rode along the fighting line commending his troops. Before the 60th Regiment from North Carolina, Preston praised them for advancing farther than he had anticipated, concluding with, "This is your first battle of any consequence, I believe. Indeed, your Tar Heels have done well." Similarly, after North Carolina troops had fought particularly well, General Robert E. Lee said to have commented, "God bless the Tar Heel boys." Like Cornwallis' story, however, the exact occasion has not been noted. A San Francisco magazine, Overland Monthly, in August of 1869 issue published an article on slang and nicknames. The author cited a number of terms used in the Old North State. A story is related, he wrote, of a brigade of North Carolinians who in one of the great battles failed to hold a certain hill and were laughed at by the Mississippians for having forgotten to tar their heels that morning. Hence originated their cant name, Tar Heels. A piece of sheet music wearing the old gray, identified as written by Tar Heel and published in Baltimore in 1866, is probably the earliest printed use of Tar Heel. On New Year's Day of 1868, Stephen Powell set out to Raleigh on a walking tour that in part would trace in reverse the march of General William Sherman at the end of the Civil War. As part of his report in North Carolina, Powell described the pine wood in the state of making of a turpentine. Having entered South Carolina, he recorded in 1872 book, Afoot and Alone, that he spent the night with a young man whose family were away, leaving him alone in great mansion. He had been a cavalry sergeant who wore his hat on the side of his head and had exceedingly confidential manner. "You see, sir, the Tar Heels haven't no sense to spare." Powers quote the sergeant as saying, "Down there in the pines, the sun don't more than half bake their heads. We always had to show them where the Yankees was, or they charged to the rear the wrong way, you see." As in a particular case for the time after the Civil War, the name Tar Heel was derogatory, just as tar boilers had been earlier. In Congress, February 10th, 1875, a black representative from South Carolina had kind words for many whites, whom he described as noble-hearted, generous-hearted people. Others he spoke of as the class of men thrown up by the war, the rude class of men, I mean the Tar Heels and the Sandhillers, and the dirt eaters of the South. It is in that class we have all our trouble. The name also had a bad connotation in an entry in 1884 edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, which reported that the people who lived in the region of the pine forest were far superior to the Tar Heel, the nickname of the dwellers in the Barrens. The New York Times Tribune further differentiated among North Carolinians in September 20th, 1903, when it observed that the men really like to work, which is all but incomprehensible to the true Tar Heel. At home, however, the name was coming to be accepted with pride. In Pittsburgh, December 11, 1879, Chapman Record informed that the readers that Jesse Turner had been named to Arkansas Supreme Court. The new justice was described as a younger brother of our respected townsman, David Turner. And we are pleased to know that a fellow Tar Heel is thought so much in the state of his adoption. In Congress in 1878, Representative David B. Vance, trying to persuade the government to pay one of his constituents, J.C. Clendenin, for building a road, described Clendenin in growing phrases, concluding with, "He is an honest man. He is a Tar Heel." In 1893, the students of the University of North Carolina founded a newspaper and christened it the Tar Heel. By the end of the century, Tar Heel, at least within the state, had been rehabilitated. John R. Hancock and Riley wrote Senator Marion Butler, January 20th, 1899, to commend him for his efforts to obtain pensions for Confederate veterans. This was an action Hancock wrote, "We Tar Heels, or a large majority of us, do most heartily commend." And by 1912, it was a term of clear identification recognized outside the state. Of August 26th of that year, the New York Evening Post identified Josephus Daniels and Thomas J. Pence as two Tar Heels holding important posts in Woodrow Wilson's campaign. So there it is, or there was, in 1912, the stamp of credibility on Tar Heel. Surely an August institution, such as the New York Evening Post, would never malign two gentlemen of the stature of Daniels and Pence, no matter how bitter the presidential election campaign. The badge of honor stuck, and in a manner of speaking, North Carolina residents have sat back on their heels ever since, happy to be Tar Heels. Who'd want to be a sandlapper anyway? This is directly from the alumni website at Carolina. That ain't even the half. You heard me mention something about naval stores earlier. In an article published here in the North Carolinapedia, also gives credence to that. I'm not going to just, bore you to death with a lot of this because it's talking about everything other than, but it is also in here where they discuss the phrase Tar Heel, the nickname for North Carolinians and the state itself, possibly originated from the fact that people working around turpentine steels often got tar on the soles of their shoes, allegedly helping them stick to their assigned jobs. This is a K through 8th grade educator source. I don't even need to do no more. This dude told us that the Tar Heels, North Carolina Tar Heels, was in reference to the Blackfeet. He also said something about the Maryland Terps. That is the same instance. You do not want to get into how this university got their name. He clearly just tried to say they got their name from something that wasn't even a thing. This is the continuous battle with pseudo people. In every avenue of study, they come up with the most stupidest ish that we could think of. We not black. ABOS also. Why you think they called them Tar Heels? Because they black. Also ABOS. Crazy. Right. The hypocrisy. So just real quick and easy, I just wanted to go back to the video, go to the alumni page, explain to the people how the North Carolina Tar Heels got their damn name, and it ain't from no Blackfeet Indians. So we're going to go a little step further. Of course, y'all already know all my sources is in the description. Modern Blackfeet people descend from an ancient Ice Age lineage. You remember? They say they always been here. Well, what the hell they doing descending from an Ice Age lineage? Nations of the Blackfoot Confederacy have long fought to maintain control over their land and water. Oral traditions and archaeological evidence indicate the Blackfoot indigenous people and their ancestors have inhabited a broad swatch of North America more than 10,000 years. Study published today in Science Advance reinforces that connection. Genetic data confirm modern Blackfoot people are closely related to those who lived on the land hundreds of years ago. The findings also suggest Blackfoot people descend from a previous unknown genetic lineage extending back 18,000 years ago, when people first populated the Americas. Evidence that could bolster their claims to their land and water rights. Ladies and gentlemen, how could you always been here when you descend from some people who are connected to the land bridge who entered the Americas 18,000 years ago? The results may be useful in contemporary people because they provide a different kind of data to fill out the contours of indigenous history, says Kim Tallbear, University of Alberta professor of Native Studies, who was not involved in the research. Today, the Blackfoot Confederacy shoulders the U.S.-Canada border, comprising the nations of Blackfeet, Kainai Blood, Pagan, Piikani, and Siksika. Blackfoot people know that their ancestors, since time immemorial, have lived across the Rocky Mountains, eastern slopes, and adjacent plains of what is now Montana, Alberta, Saskatchewan. So this ain't nowhere in North Carolina. Indigenous oral traditions and archaeological evidence indicate that more than 10,000 years ago, the ancestors pursued bison along valleys and lakes carved by glaciers of the last ice age ended. But U.S. and Canadian governments and energy sector interests have repeatedly threatened these ancestral lands or stripped them away in the 1800s. Blackfoot nations have taken legal action to try to protect or win back them. A recent success came in 2023, when after years of litigation, gas oil company Solonex LLC relinquished its federal lease to drill in the Badger 2 Medicine area of Montana. Yet other disputes are ongoing and in court. So if y'all the so-called been here and y'all the Blackfeet Indians, why y'all wasn't in court participating in a legal battle to get back your land? I'm just trying to figure it out. So in such cases, Blackfoot oral traditions provide evidence for the people's enduring presence. Archaeological research also documents inhabitants in the region dating to at least 13,000 years ago, when retreating ice sheets covered much of the land. Here, humans and other species crossing Beringia along an ice-free path into the Americas may have emerged into a wider continent. To consolidate and add new evidence for the region's ancient past, Blackfoot member tribes launched the Blackfoot Early Origins Program in 2013, co-led by the University of Arizona archaeologist Maria Zendino. See, this is what they don't know. These Blackfeet have already launched programs and other things to prove their existence and otherwise. But let's continue. In 2018, the Kainai Blood Nation and geneticists, they got involved with a geneticist at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, signed an agreement outlining protocols and expectations for the genomic analysis of Blackfoot historical ancestors and contemporary individuals. For the new study, 6 present-day community members contributed saliva samples for the analysis. The researchers also isolated DNA from the remainings of 4 ancestors with Blackfeet Tribal Historic Preservation Office, as well as 3 ancestors held by the Smithsonian Institution for Radiocarbon Dating, showed these historic remains are likely between 120 years old. Museum reasons indicated the ancestors were taken to the Smithsonian from Blackfoot lands, but it is not clear exactly how or when. Traditionally, Blackfoot people put their deceased on trees or scaffolds before secondary burial. These ABOS don't know none of this shit. During the 19th and 20th century, during periods of disease and famine, some of their dead remained on scaffolds, decayed, and fell to the ground. Scientists and others are known to have stolen these remains from the burial grounds, which could explain how the Blackfoot ancestors came to the Smithsonian. Researchers compared the genomes of modern and historic individuals and found that they belong to a unified lineage supporting Blackfoot oral traditions that attest to their people's presence here since time immemorial. Next, researchers estimated when this lineage split from the major known lineage that leads to all other present-day indigenous people who have been studied genetically across North and South America. They found that this split occurred roughly 18,000 years ago. The newly detected lineage was very surprising, says the study's author, Ripon Malhi, a geneticist at UIUC. The Blackfoot genomes didn't seem to statistically fall within the same lineages that you had previously seen in Americas. The DNA study also provides the blood tribe, Kaini, with a new line of evidence to help further treaty and Aboriginal rights. So because of DNA, it helped these people with treaties and these Aboriginal rights. And we got a group of Black people on YouTube that cry and complain about DNA because they're too stupid to understand it and they don't want to take a DNA test. Yet these Blackfeet Indians took a damn DNA test and got evidence to back up they've been in these particular areas, and it helped them with land rights and treaties. Look what DNA did for the Blackfeet. Meanwhile, you got these ABOS lying, crying, and whining, and every day, all day, every day. Now, the identification of genetic branch stemming back some 18,000 years has a lot of implications in terms of relations in different early lineages to each other, says geneticist Nathan Nakasuka, a postdoctoral fellow of the New York Genome Center who was not involved in the work. However, the samples only provide a small amount of genetic code, and the paper did not report all the data for privacy reasons. So he says the conclusions about how this newly revealed lineage relates to others may not be entirely sure yet. He is referring to the blood tribe. Still, Nakasuka praises the research for its collaboratory approach with 3 indigenous co-authors. So the indigenous co-authors was in this. Who are these indigenous co-authors? We're going to find out. Tallbear cautions that adding geneticists won't necessarily change the landscape of federal relationships. We know indigenous people were here before settlers. It's not a foregone conclusion that adding genetic information to what we already know about indigenous history in the Americas is going to make a big difference. Keolu Fox, a geneticist at the University of California, San Diego, says a major goal of such projects should be to train indigenous genome scientists to lead these studies, to allow them to prioritize the scientific questions that should be asked. For too long, he says, ancient DNA work has been the most toxic field in genomics, and encouraging the next generation of indigenous genomicists could turn that tide. It's not clear what will become of the ancient remains analyzed for the study. The authors noted the human remains that were sampled for this study might be repatriated in the future. So there was a clarification added to this article. And it says an earlier version of the article noted that Canada's Supreme Court heard arguments related to the Connie Blood Tribe's land claims. It has been updated to reflect the fact that this dispute is still ongoing. Look at science. So let me go on and do my little two-step, my little 1-2. Y'all already know what I'm about to do. I'm about to double down on it. Let me go on and get Dusty on the screen. Dusty, you got a dude calling you a Tar Heel, homie. You way in Montana and Canada. But he got you in North Carolina talking about you a Tar Heel, homie. Everybody for the umpteenth time meet Daryl Dusty Crawford. Why we looking at Daryl? Because this DNA traces back 55 generations with 99% accuracy rate. One more time. Why we looking at Daryl? Dusty? Because Crawford used a company that traced his line back 55 generations with 99% accuracy rate. He Blackfoot. He Blackfoot. I ain't got to do all of the other stuff. I'm probably breaking up on y'all. What up, Chris? I'm just beating up AP right now real easy, like with that dumbass pseudo claim that North Carolina, the Blackfoot gonna be black people. So, ancient indigenous lineage of Blackfoot Confederacy goes back 18,000 years to the last ice age. DNA reveals. Here is a picture of them boys. Here go the Blackfoot right here. They ain't looking too black. Look at the strong features in their faces. Look at their hair, their nose and their lips. What we doing? Yeah, he said it. You want me to play it again? What up, Jarrell? You want me to play it again? I'll play it again. Hold on. We can knock them out one by one.
Is there. And so when you look at those people from Mexico, and he's talking about the Negro presence, this is the Negro presence that's still there today.
So, question for you, brother. All right, when it comes to the Mayan people, I've seen pictures where they got the dark skin, they have the locks. Where did they go, bro? Because the people that we see today in Mexico, we know that that's not the same. Where did the Mayans end up?
Well, they only show you a certain group of people.
Right.
So that's media trained stuff. But when you go to those places in Mexico, there are people that look just like me and you there. They just happen to speak Spanish. You see what I'm saying? Which when we get into the whole Spanish thing, which is a whole nother story, you don't find people in Portugal or Spain speaking Spanish before they come over here. Why? I'm gonna just leave that in the air. Why are English people not speaking English, American English, before they come to America?
Wow.
Why is there hundreds of thousands of indigenous words in the Spanish and English language? When you say hey and hello, that's indigenous. Hell, a lot of the college teams use indigenous terms to describe their team.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, man.
If you ever been to Carolina, everybody likes the Tar Heels. Well, let's do a Google search of where the Blackfoot's at.
Yeah, hold on, bro. Hey, your brother Aboriginal Power is cooking, because that term, you know, everybody gets caught up in the Carolina blue, but not just breaking down the name Tar Heel, Blackfoot.
What's a Tar Heel?
It's black.
A black what?
Blackfoot.
That's where the Blackfeet at.
Blackfoot.
Blackfoot Indians. I mean, it's literally giving you reference. They literally give you the reference. When you look at the Maryland Terrapins,
yeah.
What is a terrapin?
They try to show you it's a turtle.
That's an Algonquin word, which means turtle.
Wow.
You see, they put it right in front of our faces, and they try to reverse it and then flood you and hope that you forget about it, which so happily we are creatures of amnesia.
Yes,
we forget. Are. That's why we write things down. This is why we have records. And so they play off of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if my screen is still sharing, but we're going to get into some more.
Yeah.
Here goes some images of, this is some Olmecs.
Come on. Yeah.
With afros, very rare.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can see the hair. Yeah, yeah.
With the rat tails going down, or braids, or dreads, whatever your mind speculates. More images.
Can't deny this one right here.
More indigenous people. This is a festival, a spiritual ceremony going into the, I think, spring equinox.
Wow.
Image of the warrior of the temple. You see
yeah. He said all of that. So I had to show who the Blackfoot really are and where they're at. And the Blackfoot ain't no goddamn Tar Heels, meaning Blackfoot. And so I showed the North Carolina alumni site that listed several different instances on how Tar Heel evolved. And then when you go to North Carolinapedia, it has the phrase Tar Heel in it, and it tells you what it means. Because in the region where they were dealing with them trees and dealing with turpentine. And the turpentine would leak over onto the soles of the people's shoes and have them sticking to the area in which they were. It's where it came from. They can't tell us, and I don't want to, I got some stuff to share about the origin story on the Blackfeet, but I don't want to share that because I don't want them to try to learn it and then use it and remix it and flip it, and then we got to go debunk that bullshit. So I don't even want to do that. But I'll just say this. He lied so much, so I just wanted to show the evidence that refuted what he was saying. Now, before I transition off the Blackfeet, excuse me. I don't know if there's an ABO or someone in here that can justify this or provide the evidence for what AP was saying, because that was definitely pseudo-linguistics. Fake all the way. So if anybody wants to rebut the information that refuted what he said that I put on the screen, we can go there. Now I can deal with the other stuff that he was showing, the images of the rituals, everything that he was showing that was on those walls are the Olmec painting themselves. He lied about the Olmec. They were never black. The Olmec been in the region that they've been in for a long time. All you got to do is look at the DNA. That's the cheat code. We just saw that the Blackfeet Indian were clearly represented in the genetic pool so that they can hold their shit down. So I got a guest on the panel. I don't know what he gonna say. So I'm gonna give him a second to say what he gonna say. Hopefully it's pertaining to what was played and shown. So let me get this moment on the stage.
So what I'm gonna say about that situation is that them people can't represent everybody within that area. That's a small section of people, and I see that you saying that they are comparing their DNA to some bodies from the 18 and 1700s. And I'm trying to see how do that justify them being over. And it also say that it split up 18,000 years ago. I don't even know how that number even came about.
Yeah, you wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, they just can't just
you
say.
You don't understand 18,000 years ago? That's the split between the first two lineage groups to enter in the Americas.
Right, and you're trying to tell me
that the Blackfeet come from one of the two that came into America. That group that split, the first two groups. Their ancestors are from the first two groups. That's easily shown and demonstrated on several shows shown before. So you didn't comprehend that. The other part of what you said when you came on here is that they don't represent. You saying that's a small group? No, it's not a small group. The Blackfeet are all in Montana and Canada. It's not no small group. They all know who they are. They cross the border. That culture crosses the border in between Montana and up there in Canada. It's a clear representation. And the DNA that you're referring to, which we talked about earlier, and was clear as day, is that it's DNA that we got on the Blackfeet that goes back to when their ancestors crossed over that land bridge. That's the significance
how do the
that.
DNA go back that far?
What do you mean how it go back that far?
How do it go back that far? And they said that they're using bodies from 100 and 200 years ago.
No, you don't understand DNA. That's the problem. Members of the Blackfoot Confederacy have ancient lineage that goes back 18,000 years ago, meaning that indigenous people living in the Great Plains of Montana and southern Alberta today, which is Canada, can trace their origins to the Ice Age predecessors, a new DNA study reveals. Published April 3rd, January, Science Advances, a team of researchers led 3 members of Blackfoot Confederacy and investigated the genetic history of their tribe.
Question.
They're looking at these people specifically. You have to comprehend what was just said first before you can ask a question. Do you understand what was just read?
No, I didn't understand. How are they able to, you said that they trace their origins to the Ice Age? How do you trace your origins to the Ice Age?
Because you have DNA from that period of the first two lineage groups coming into the Americas.
But they only using bodies from 100 and
no,
years ago.
No. Listen closely. Stop making this difficult. It's simple. They're comparing evidence. The DNA samples that they used for the people from 100 or 200 years ago, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, today, and then DNA evidence that they extrapolated during archaeological digs from evidence that was left behind from places that traced into that can go back to that. They can compare the data. The problem that you're having to understand is when it's cold temperatures, You can preserve the fuck out of DNA. It can outlast anything else. DNA is only a problem in areas where it is extremely hot, because you lose the ability to be able to extract that DNA if it's not done appropriately or immediately. That's why you find them going and scraping, trying to get the shit from bones.
So how was they able to say that people is connected DNA around the equator?
Because you ain't listening to nobody tell you.
I'm saying if the DNA gonna go away by the equator, how are they able to say that people is related to certain people by the equator?
You're not even listening to what I said. I ain't said nothing about.
You just said that the DNA is able to be preserved in the cold, and that it's not preserved by the equator.
No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I ain't said shit about the equator. I said it is harder to extract DNA in places where it is too hot. I ain't said shit about equator. Meaning it's going to be a little bit more difficult when you're dealing with certain shit when you're extracting it. But you're not trying to listen because you want to ask questions along the way and fuck up your comprehension. You're supposed to be listening first. Then you extract and draw your questions from what's stated based on the evidence. You got to consume the evidence first. You got to eat your food first before I can tell you how your meal was prepared. I don't tell you how the meal was prepared while you're eating. And the Blackfeet ain't nowhere near the goddamn equator, so I don't even know why you're saying that. So again, in a new study, like I showed, because I just X'd out of the article, but you can go in Science Advance and it'll say exactly what the fuck that I just said. And it'll provide you with the gateway in understanding it. All the sources are available. Since the tribe, the Blackfoot Confederacy, have had to defend their land, all of this comes about because they were trying to defend their land. They were trying to keep white people from taking their goddamn land. Do you understand that? So the Blackfeet got together and got with a geneticist to do DNA samples on everybody involved because it was a smart thing to do. It says, since the tribes in the Blackfoot Confederacy have had to defend their land claims and water rights, in spite of both archaeological evidence and oral traditions, testifying to the deep history in the area, to provide an additional line of evidence that could help secure their treaty rights, as well as to advance scientific knowledge of indigenous genomic lineages, members of the Kainai Nation in Canada and the Blackfeet tribe in Montana partnered with scientists from multiple U.S. universities to investigate their genetic history. This is why y'all can't get around it. It says the research team took samples for whole genome sequencing from 7 skeletons that were radiocarbon dated from 1805 to 1907. Let me pause. That ain't it. Because what other genetic evidence do we have that goes back 13,000, 16,000 years?
No evidence.
Use a goddamn lie. We got DNA evidence. Some motherfucker. Oh my God, bro. All right.
Where they got the DNA evidence from?
Just be quiet, bro. Just be quiet. Let me finish. A period in which interactions between the Blackfoot people and Euro-Americans were increasingly because of fur trade. While DNA preservation was not ideal, as the samples came from skeletons that had been exposed on a burial platform, all the remains produced mitochondrial DNA information, or genetic data passed down from the maternal side. Additionally, 6 present-day tribal members were whole genome sequenced. The genetic information revealed that the historical Blackfoot ancestors and the present-day Blackfeet Kainai shared a large fraction of their genome, suggesting a biological relationship. This continuity of genes was expected, but the team also found that this lineage was different from the previously reported North and South American indigenous groups. Based on statistical modeling, One more time. Based on statistical
model?
No, then you don't even understand what a model is, bro.
That ain't factual.
What? Statistical model.
That's not factual. And it's also suggesting.
Hold on. Do you know what a goddamn statistical model is?
Yeah, it's a graph.
No. Do you know what a statistical model is?
It's a chart.
Why do people? Okay, so if it's a chart, why do people put together a fucking chart?
Yeah, but that don't mean that it's
what's the purpose of putting a chart together?
Yeah, okay, to try to prove a point.
What? Prove a point? No, nigga. If you putting a chart together because you collected data and you putting the shit together on a graph so that you can demonstrate the goddamn evidence. You just said it wasn't factual.
Okay, so tell me what evidence that they gathered from 18,000 years ago that they able to put it within this model.
Of data collected from the goddamn studies. You just try to sit here and say that ain't factual. How, nigga?
It's not. Okay, so what they got from 18,000 years ago?
Again, based on statistical modeling, the team believes that the Blackfeet people split from other groups in the late Pleistocene around.
Believe and suggesting.
Shut the fuck up. You got to learn how to comprehend. You slow, bro. You got a patch of hair on the side of your head. You slow. You got to listen. That definitely ain't no indigenous shit you're doing right now. The team believes that the Blackfoot people split from the other groups in the late Pleistocene around 18,000 years ago as multiple population waves from a single source fanned out into the vast geographic land of the Americas. In addition to identifying this genomic diversity that was previously unknown to science, the study is important because of its framing, according to Graciela Cabana, an anthropological geneticist at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville who was not involved in the research. It's pretty obvious that this was written from more of an indigenous voice, Cabana told Live Science in an email. It's actually rare to see a collaborative study that is actually led by indigenous community members on ancestors. Co-author Ripan Malhi, a genetic anthropologist at the University of Illinois, also told these motherfuckers in the email that genomics should be conducted by community members who can use this tool from an indigenous viewpoint or through a community collaborative approach where community partners have equal control in how the research is conducted and reported. This study comes out of the Blackfoot Early Origins Program. Where did the study come from? Out of the Blackfoot Origins Program, which documents Blackfoot persistence in their Aboriginal territory, co-authored by Maria Zadino, a research anthropologist at the University of Arizona, and co-directs the program. In an email, they told Live Science, genomic studies is only one project in this program, Zendino said, and the tribal leaders reviewed its design and development at every step of the way. In the original source, they even hinted back to their origin story, which is why I had the fucking origin story up, because I knew one of you daring dumbass niggas was going to try to want to play a game. So again,
but y'all don't even believe in their origin story.
Bro, listen, do you know what their origin? Do you know what the Blackfoot origin story is?
They not saying they from Siberia.
One more time. Do you know what the Blackfoot origin story is?
I know it's not from Siberia.
Do you know? How do you know that?
Okay, they say they come from the earth or something like that.
No. How do you know that?
Okay, that's what I heard. Some indigenous Americans within that section say that that's where they came from.
So you don't know.
That's what I heard them Indians say.
You don't know. You playing he say, she say.
That's what the Indians said.
So you have no evidence.
That's what the Indians said.
You don't know. Quit lying your ass
Like
off,
I
nigga.
say,
And
you
just
don't believe what the Indians say.
no, you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't. I think I got the shit right here on my. I can pull it up.
You
I got it
believe in
right
what
here. I
some
got
Indians saying? I don't believe in what some Indians saying.
bro. I got they fucking origin story telling them how they came to be, nigga. And the DNA is helping support them as they are some of the earliest people to step foot in the Americas. They come from an ancestral lineage group that has been proven by DNA that there was two lineage claims to the fucking Americas that help populate this bitch. And they come from one of the two. This is why studies in other areas providing evidence on the subject matter matters. You don't just use one thing. There's a compilation of data that persists in this methodology to come to an honest conclusion based on facts, not opinions, not your goddamn belief, none of that shit. I have their origin story. The goddamn science article we just read to you and just put on the screen was even referring back to what they were talking about in their origin story. It didn't get specific about their origin story. It basically just said it lines up with how what they say that they've been here for X, Y, and Z. But you sitting here trying to tell us that some motherfuckers told you something, and you ain't even got it. You ain't even got it. Bro, I got this book right here. Blackfeet Indian Stories, George Bird Gazillo. I'm finna show it to you. I'm finna put it on a goddamn screen because you think you know something, you don't know shit. This is what I mean by y'all don't fucking study. Y'all don't do this shit, bro. You a new age nigga coming up in here.
I do this shit, nigga.
You don't do shit but run your motherfucking mouth over there in front of two people. Fuck you talking about you do something. You don't do
nigga,
you
got way more subscribers than me, nigga. You
don't do a fucking thing.
Fucking 12 people in your chat, nigga.
You don't do a fucking thing, nigga.
I just put out some major info, nigga.
Man, you ain't got no info. How the fuck is you putting out something?
I just put out some major info, but I ain't even really tripping on the Blackfoot because I ain't even pushing Blackfoot.
You ain't put out some black people. Ain't nobody
Blackfoot.
You put out, nigga.
How you gonna deny the black people?
Here go the book. You see this book right here?
Why you denying black people everything about what they got going on over here?
Here go the book. Here go the book. Because when I want to debunk you stupid ass niggas, I'm learning shit about every goddamn body.
Okay, so why wouldn't I bring my book? And I'm gonna say that's
you ain't brought shit.
That's a pseudo book.
You ain't brought shit, nigga.
But that's a
you
pseudo
ain't brought
book.
Shit, nigga.
That book is pseudo.
What's a pseudo book? What pseudo book? What makes it pseudo?
What makes it pseudo?
What makes it pseudo?
I'm saying,
what makes it pseudo? No, you pseudo. You pseudo. Like I said, he got a book right here, and it carries a lot of stories from all the people that been in the Americas, all the different tribes, especially regarding the Blackfeet. This is all their stories. No, I ain't gotta believe all of that shit, but I got it. We got the homie MVP in the building. What's good with you, bro?
What the deal? You know I wasn't gonna let you go up and go to war by yourself on this one. So I'm here. So Vino, I got a question for you, Vino, because I don't believe you. All right, is that okay? Is it okay? You're a Blackfoot Indian, right? What tribe do you claim, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm Seminole.
You're Seminole. The Seminole Indians have a history with African slaves. It's simple.
Yeah, we may have some, but at the same time, it's indigenous. Black people that was already here, that was already in the land doing what they was doing. They ended up taking some of them people in. And yeah, but we was already over here doing what we was doing before Americans got into Florida like that.
Okay, cool. So I'm not gonna get onto the Seminole thing because that's just too much fun. But AP said Blackfoot Indians were black people, right? What proves Aboriginal power correct versus what Sean is saying is wrong? What did Aboriginal power use to prove that he was right?
Well, he was more referring to the people in the Carolinas.
Carolinas.
Right.
Blackfoot. So, but we know that Blackfoot Indians have a history with slaves. So there are African people who claim Blackfoot heritage. That doesn't make them indigenous.
Because there was already black people within that area, but because at that time it was very racist.
No, man. Why you?
No,
why
sir.
you
No, sir. No, sir. No, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Have you ever read the book Black Slaves and Indian Masters by Barbara Carruthers? Have you ever read that book?
No, he don't read books.
No, but just like I say, it was a lot of bias during that time to where
look at his.
No, let him go. Let him rock. Let him rock, Sean.
Yeah, to where Negroes was basically a second tier type person. They was a beast. They was 3/4. They really didn't get no love unless they got vetted.
Cool. That's wonderful. But how does this prove?
Unless they got vetted by somebody. So whenever they was coming around, just any black people in the world, they had to look at them like somebody had to be their master.
That's cool, but how does that prove that black people are indigenous to the United States of America? You're showing me the effects of colonialism.
I'm showing you that whenever the colonialists,
just say it, you won't get it out.
Whenever the colonialists got over here, they found black people that was moving
where's the journal on
Americans.
that? There you go. Now, where's the journal on that?
I got the journal with General Jessup.
Okay, can you pull that for us, please?
Yeah, I can pull that. Definitely. I just dropped a whole little build on Strictly Ghetto Engine. I got 5 parts.
Bro, we ain't not we
last night.
He asked you for a goddamn source.
I'm saying
go get the goddamn source.
That's what I'm asking for you right now. Can you go get that source on that? That's what I'm asking right now, as of right now, bro.
No, we want the source. You in front of the computer, nigga. Get the source.
Pull that source.
Share the screen.
That's what I need. You got Sean about to pop a brain in his vein up here. We want them sources, man. Let's get them sources up.
I mean, the source is just going to say that Negroes is in possession of Indians.
No,
the source is going to say that.
No. Let him. No, Sean. This is what I like. This is cool.
Yeah, the Negroes
all we want him to do is show it now, so we can get that source. That's
the Negroes is in possession of Indians. It's Negro chiefs.
Never heard that.
That's influential. That's influential. Negro chiefs.
Okay.
Indian Negroes, Seminole Negroes.
Okay, cool. Seminole Negroes. Okay, cool. Where do you have a source for that? Because I've never heard that before.
I know you ain't never heard it. General Jessup Diary.
Why can't you pull that source
of the Second Seminole War?
Okay, cool. Were there Africans warring with the Seminoles, helping them fight? I know about that war.
No, it was the indigenous people that was already speaking the language because they wasn't speaking. I know they try to push that source for you. Gullah or niggas were speaking.
There we go.
But they wasn't speaking.
There we go. See, Sean, you gotta let them
that story just came out within the late 1900s, but in the 1800s, they wasn't saying they wasn't speaking no African language.
No,
they wasn't documenting that at all. So they never did get documented in the 1800s.
You just lied. You just lied.
No, sir.
They got symbolism.
They weren't saying they weren't speaking no African language.
Okay,
they were saying that.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because of the generals.
Here we go. Hey, Sean,
because the generals. That's
give me a screen share, Sean.
I got you. I'm waiting on it to pop up.
No doubt. Oh, you pulled it too, huh?
No, I'm waiting on your screen.
I got 5 parts. Go subscribe to Strictly Ghetto.
All right, here we go. Right here. This is an old. Shout out to not a coincidence. Shout out to Gullah. Here we go. Right here. Now, you on here teaching some bullshit, Vino.
You sharing your screen, Chris? I don't see it.
I'm about to do it right now, baby. This is easy work. This easy work. There it is right there. Now this is the Gullah, right? And this is by Joseph Opala, right? Now he is an anthropologist. What is an anthropologist, Vino?
A primary source.
No, an anthropologist is someone.
I thought you was going to a primary source that was with the people.
No. You ain't went nowhere. You just on here talking.
I went to the primary source.
No, sir. You wouldn't go nowhere. You took it to
I went to the primary.
Mind. Here. Let's deal with this. Now we want to read this. Black Seminoles, Gullahs who escaped from slavery. Now it says the Black Seminoles are a small offshoot of Gullah who escaped from the rice plantations in South Carolina and Georgia. They built their own settlements on the Florida frontier, fought a series of wars to preserve their freedom, and were scattered across North America. They have played a significant role in American history, but have never received the recognition they deserve. Let's keep going. Some Gullah slaves managed to escape from coastal South Carolina and Georgia south into the Florida Peninsula. In the 18th century, Florida was a vast tropical wilderness covered with jungles and malaria-ridden swamps. Why is this significant? Because African peoples were pretty immune to that type of shit. Okay? We don't catch malaria, nigga. Now watch this, bro. It say it right here. The Spanish claimed Florida, but they used it only as a buffer between British colonies, you got to hear all of it, and their own settled territories farther south. They wanted to keep Florida as a dangerous wilderness frontier, so they offered a refuge to escaped slaves and renegade Indians. We got two people groups here from neighboring South and Carolina, Georgia. The Gullahs were establishing their own free settlements in the Florida wilderness by the late 1700s. Who are the Gullah people, if you don't mind me asking you? Vino, who are Gullah people?
And they bringing the people back. Yeah, man, them are some people that came over later in the game.
Thank you.
They not indigenous. They not indigenous. They wasn't over here. They come late in the game, man. Straight up. So I really don't know what this is right here.
I know you don't know. You don't read.
But I got the primary source from General Jessup, the general that ended up getting the Seminoles to Oklahoma. The one in, you know what I'm saying? The one ended up making it happen.
Let's read the rest of this so we can see.
And we got, and he ain't from, and Abraham ain't from Georgia. He was born in Florida. So that's wrong. There's a lot of stuff that you read and that's wrong.
Vino.
Stop.
Pull the source up, bro.
That's right. Pull your source. Now we know Abraham was a Seminole leader from 1835 to 1842. But before that, there's an established history between these two people groups. So I don't know why you trying to play that game. All right. That's called muddying the waters, right? Now look at this. It says they built separate villages of thatch roof houses surrounded by the fields of corn and swamp rice. And they maintained friendly relations with the mixed population of refugee Indians. In time, the two groups came to view themselves as parts of the same loosely organized tribe in which blacks held important positions of leadership. The Gullahs adopted Indian clothing. I could stop right there, because now they're beginning to assimilate with this group of people, because they too are escaped slaves or African slaves from plantations, and they've escaped into the South, and they've met up with this group of people during the early 1700s, and they're joining with them, and they're going to begin to fight for their freedom with this group of people, and you're going to find out why. V-note. All right.
Hold on. So you saying they only hooked up with them in the 1700s?
Excuse me.
The 1700s when they hooked up?
There he go trying to kick the can. That's called kicking the can. All right. Now the Gullahs adopted Indian clothing, while the Indians acquired a taste for rice and appreciation for Gullah music and folklore. But the Gullahs were physically more suited to the tropical climate and possessed an indispensable knowledge of tropical agriculture. Why? Why would they have knowledge of tropical agriculture, Vino?
The Indians, yeah. The
No,
general
it
said
said
that these
color.
niggas, we had the
Okay,
right about what the fuck these niggas in possession.
no,
That's
let
within
them
our
sound like
business.
this, because
Oh no,
anybody.
I'm over here, letting my people know that y'all doing some whole shit. Niggas mute me up, letting this nigga say some old hoe ass shit.
Now you
And
playing victim once I pull the source up.
nah, what you mean? But this ain't no primary source.
Okay, cool, sure.
What? Hold on. How do you know that it's not a primary source?
It's not primary.
How do
Because
you no?
this
Listen
person
to my
wasn't there.
question that I'm asking
Because
you.
this person wasn't there. And
What makes
they
it?
got it
No,
wrong
I'm
by saying
asking
that the
one
nigga
more
was from
time.
Georgia.
How do you know that this isn't a primary
They got
source?
a lot of shit wrong.
How do you know what they got wrong, Vino?
Because of what he was saying sound dumb as hell.
Okay, so go get the evidence that contradicts the source.
Yeah.
I got it, man. Go to Strictly Ghetto Engine.
Pull up the motherfucking source. Don't tell me where to go. Yeah, he left.
Yeah. Hey, yo, that nigga pulled a Scooby-Doo retreat. You pesky kids. Yo, that shit crazy, man. What is he teaching, man? What are they doing? Yo, AP, you full of shit. Nigga ran. Pew.
Man, listen, he got the hell up out of here, bro.
Bro, that's crazy.
He did quick. We asked him 15 times, Vino, pull up the source. Let's look at the source. Let's review it. No, I got the primary. Okay, let's see if you got the primary. He ain't got the primary because the author that he's referring to isn't there during the time.
That's correct.
So he's writing no different than what you have on the screen. It's no different. It's the same data. Two different perspectives on the same subject matter, and he don't fucking know. But that still got us away from what we were talking about when AP was over there claiming that the Tar Heels was referring to some Blackfeet Indian.
They were not. It was not. Not at all. He made that shit up.
That shit was the Tar Heel whole scenario is fucked up because that's coming from where they're working and it's on the soles of their shoes, not the bottom of their heels.
Right.
And then he want to come on here and be like, well, how they know they come back from 18,000 years ago? Because they know based on genetic data, the first peoples to populate lineage A and lineage B group that comes into the Americas was back 18,000 years ago.
But they be trying to challenge DNA with all that ghetto shit. You know what I'm saying? Begging the question. They don't understand DNA. And then once you say they went, because what they'll do is they'll say how they got genetic data from 100,000 years ago. It's called bones, dummy. Simple. That's all. And they trace the people that were there with them bones, and then they look at the people that are there now, and they say, "Yep, these people match the genetic material found in these bones. Match these people. They've been here." It's simple. It ain't even that hard.
Right.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I thought he at least was gonna have some heart and stay on. He just bolted up out of here.
Nah, we asked for that source and he didn't want, because he started trying to, I guess, go live on his shit and record it to try to, like, I guess he gonna make another video or whatever and then try to, chop it up and swing it his way like he always do when he say he do by his research. But he clearly was trying to go live while we live and then make it make sense. So he could say his people, we doing something to him, but we start asking for that source and he didn't want them to hear all that shit. It clipped us.
Well, see, this source right here that I was going to read was going to say that General Jessup, when he was at war, he said, yo, I'm fighting against Negroes here. But what they try to do is conflate the two, the Gullah and the Seminole. They're trying to conflate them. That report that I was reading goes into why it can't be conflated and what was going on at that time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to hurry up and get there, but he didn't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably was live and his followers would have heard that and says, nah, you know what I'm saying? That young man, right. You know what I'm saying? So we pulling the anthropological data up. Then he start hollering out, "I need a." He want a source, a primary nigga is gonna get to it if you just sit back and wait instead of trying to sound smart, nigga. So yeah, keep going, Sean. Keep going.
All right, bro. But yeah, that's crazy foolishness. Anybody else want to defend this crazy ass AP? We know y'all listening. We know y'all watching, lurking, and listening. Vino still got this up. Nobody else brave enough to justify that pseudo-linguistic attempt by AP to put some shit on some people that it ain't even for.
These niggas are sorry. Nigga said, go to ghetto.com. No, thank you.
Right.
No, thank you, dog. No, thanks.
If you want to get the source. Why I gotta go run and then gotta go find and wait? Bro, provide the source. Tommy, you think you got some information? Share it.
Right. You might be right. You know what I'm saying? Highly unlikely, but you might be right. Like, what is
he
you
ain't never right,
of?
he ain't got no comprehension. We proved that.
What was up with that damn thing on the side of his head, though? That
He
shit.
cut his hair like that.
Dog. That's an indigenous haircut, huh?
Nah, hell no, it ain't. No, you don't know what the fuck he is.
You know what I'm saying? This shit wild, man. Man, you abo niggas are embarrassed. Just give it up already, man. I can't with y'all, man. Y'all worse than Hebrews.
Word, yeah, they have taken over the reins for that.
Dog, all of it come from people, all that Moorish bullshit, Dr. York shit. All of it come from that. All this shit.
Look, she said he go live when he on live, so therefore he can get him some content. But he got the hell up out of here. He ain't want his people hearing the rest of it. He get his ass mocked. Talking about we muting him and all that. Now, only time I muted him was for you to get your thought out, and then I even muted my goddamn self so you and him could dialogue. Cause I ain't got the patience to talk to that slow ass nigga.
Dog, that haircut though. I can't, man. That haircut, bro. That shit was crucial. It's crucial. Yeah, I tried to get on the other night and stuff, but you know, old lady wanted to holler at me and stuff, so like that. She wanted to fool around, so I was just like, damn, I gotta go.
My bad. Yeah, man. Everybody got them on the highlight reel. All right, so I'm finna get into this other part of the bill.
Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna step down. Let you do your thing.
All right.
Bet that.
Please. Okay, so I've been in the Facebook battle for the last, I don't know, 26 hours with a few people, you know, and it's all good, you know. I did Brother Satepin showed his face, Zen Ra, another guy, a couple females, whatever the case may be, and we was having discussions about Trump's claims about dead people collecting Social Security checks or we're still receiving Social Security checks, and they said it was up on the millions. And you know, they were looking at making cuts in areas that could benefit the peoples, and Medicaid was one of those areas, and even Social Security, looking at making some cuts in the Social Security realm as in one of those areas. And people didn't want to hear that. They wanted to say we're misunderstanding or misrepresenting what is actually being stated. And then, you know, so I started asking everybody questions and couldn't get no answers. So for 26 hours, I have still not gotten the evidence of dead people receiving checks. None. It's not a Facebook group. It's on my wall. And so I asked another question. I asked people about the budget. So what part of the budget benefits you and your family? Can you provide me with the evidence if you think that you're going to directly benefit from the budget that Trump wants to pass and sign into law? I still didn't get anything out of that. So what I want to do real quick is I want to share my screen real quick. I'm going to play a video, but I'm going to cover this shit up. Hold on one second. And again, y'all, make sure y'all go over there and like Kofi's stream, please. He got a good interview, dope interview. I've heard some of it while Vino was over here rambling at his mouth. And it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna play this. And what's funny is Morning Joe has dedicated their morning show to fact checking Donald Trump. So every day, and if y'all don't know Morning Joe or Joe is a Republican. The dude who lead the show, Morning Joe, is a freaking Republican. But on February 20th, a few days ago, they launched this fact check, big, beautiful cuts, Medicaid and balloon deficit bill. Listen to this.
Hey, Carly, quick question. If you had to choose, would you wax your own eyebrows or figure out payroll compliance?
Easy. Payroll compliance.
Huh? Compliance can get sticky.
Oh no, compliance is easy with Gusto. Gusto automatically prepares and files my federal, state, and local
Nigga
payroll
said she
taxes
tired
for
of
me.
Trump. I think everybody tired of.
I know, right? Ready, Rick?
But it's what we're dealing with right now.
Choose compliance without the.
Cause he going with his move.
With Gusto.
He ain't studying nothing.
You've got charts on this. Set the scene for us on just how big the national debt problem is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, before we delve into the details of the House package, let's just remind ourselves and everybody just how bad this problem already is before we get to anything else that might happen. So here's the federal budget deficit going back to 2018, and you can see we were down here in the 500 billion to trillion range. And then COVID hits, fine, the deficit jumps up. We would all expect that, and that's what government's here for. It did drop down again, but now it is on this relentless rise, and these are projections, the green bars, going all the way out here to over $2.5 trillion of deficits a year. This is not how it is supposed to work. When things are relatively good and the economy is growing, we should be having a lower deficit and saving our firepower to use when we have a problem. That's not what's happening here at the moment, even before you get to any of the president's new proposals. That, of course, has led to a lot more debt. We now have over $30 trillion of debt. For the first time in our history, except World War II, we will have debt that's equal to 100% the size of our economy. It's gone up under Republican presidents and Democratic presidents, but the scorecard over the last 40 years, out of curiosity, is $14 or so trillion added under Republican presidents, about $12.5 trillion under Democratic presidents. So there are not clean hands on either side. And then given the size of those deficits, not surprisingly, the debt will continue to rise sharply and well exceed the rate of growth of our economy.
Okay, so if you could explain to us how the GOP plan would work, take us through the numbers.
So what the House approved yesterday is what, as you said, Trump likes to call one big, beautiful bill. It encompasses all of the things they're trying to get done. There are some various complicated parliamentary reasons why it actually needs to be in one big, beautiful bill, but whatever. So the signature piece of it, of course, are tax cuts, and I'll talk a bit more about those later, but up to $4.5 trillion of tax cuts over the next 10 years. And then spending increases, a few spending increases for their priorities. Judiciary and Homeland are both basically border-oriented spending. And then defense, which both parties to a considerable degree needs to have spent more on them. So roughly $300 billion more spending. But then they're talking about cutting a lot of spending. And so the Energy Commerce Committee is tasked with cutting $880 billion worth of spending. It's expected that that could be heavily out of Medicaid. It could represent about 10% of our Medicaid spending. And so they're very focused on spending on Medicaid. But there's another guy who's not so focused on Medicaid. Take a listen.
Look, Social Security won't be touched. Other than if there's fraud or something, we're going to find it's going to be strengthened, but won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched.
Nothing.
You don't have to. Now, if there are illegal migrants in the system, we're going to get them out of the system and all of that fraud, but it's not going to be touched. We're going to love and cherish Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. We're not going to do anything with that other than if we can find some abuse or waste, we'll do something, but the people won't be affected. It'll only be more effective and better.
So this wasn't a campaign promise. This is stuff he said since he's been president, contradicting what the House is doing. So it's going to be a very interesting process on Medicaid, which is obviously a very sensitive subject. And by the way, programs like Medicaid, like food stamps that he's talking about cutting as much as 20%, the House talking about cutting as much as 20% of, red states actually get a disproportionate amount of this money. So it's going to be interesting to see how Congress people hear what they hear in their districts and what they say. Student loans, another big target, could cut about 10% out of student loans. And then there's another $500 billion of unspecified spending. 62 of it would be what's called oversight. Those are federal pensions. So he's talking about cutting, they're talking about cutting $50 billion out of federal pensions. But when you add all this up, the administration, which says it's going to reduce the deficit, actually has a plan to increase the deficit by $2.8 trillion over the next 10 years. And so if you look here, this is the same chart we just looked at. You add in these new deficit increases, and you can see that instead of even dropping for a couple of years, it doesn't drop at all, and it just goes up further and
cuts favor the rich.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in the tax part of this. And basically what they want to do, the central part of it is extending the tax cuts that were voted in 2017 that would expire at the end of this year. It was another bit of budget gimmickry, would expire at the end of this year absent a renewal. But those tax cuts are what we call highly regressive, meaning they favor the wealthy substantially over the less wealthy. So people in the lowest 20% of the economy would get a 0.6% increase in their after-tax wages under this plan, and people all the way up through the 80% below the top would get still 1.4% or less. When you get up here, the top 20%, the top 1%, you see the percent increase they get in their after-tax income. Let's turn that into dollars. If you're down here, you're going to get $1,000. You might get $1,900 if you're close to the top. The top quartile gets $9,000. The top 1% gets an average of $70,000. So these are, again, what we call highly regressive tax cuts. Generally, we like to see them favor people at the bottom, not at the top. These are the opposite. The other challenge they're going to have, which is going to be a little bit fun if the stakes weren't so high, a little bit fun to watch, is that they've got this $4.5 trillion for tax cuts in this budget plan, as I said. Almost all of that will be consumed by extending these individual tax cuts that would otherwise expire. But during the campaign, the president ran around promising all kinds of other tax cuts. No tax on Social Security income, restore the full deduction on state and local taxes, no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, deduct in your taxes the cost of your auto loan. So he made all these promises. The whole thing adds up to about $7.8 trillion. So they're going to have to fit $7.8 trillion of promises into into a box that's $4.5 trillion in size. And that's going to be an interesting push-pull between the administration and the Congress as well?
All right, so like I said, people think that he lowering the deficit. He is increasing the deficit because he got a $7.5 trillion plan. Talking about he trying to get it down to the House budget is only for 4.5 billion, and it's a problem. So I'm arguing with people on Facebook about these things, and I get to asking them, so what part of Trump's plan is beneficial to you? And nobody can tell me. And I keep asking. Now I got a partial answer from one person in particular, because we've already had this conversation before. I don't want to put a business out there politically or nothing like that, but you know what I'm saying, it's my bro, and we're gonna keep it like that. But it is what it is. So now all the Trumpetts who are FBA, ABOS that are FBA, I am asking any of you, forget what I just played, even though I know that the whole deficit shit, you can't get around that. But even with what I just played, where is your evidence, right? Where is your evidence that shows you and me and others, right, your reason for voting for Trump? That's it. We want to see what in his budget that convinced you to vote for him. All the blaming Biden, all the other stuff, I don't care about none of that. I just want to see your evidence. Y'all claim to be, and y'all stump so hard on these YouTube streets about Trump, 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 Trump. Every channel, every show, y'all was cranking up the anti-Kamala Harris, which is cool, and turning up on the Trump. And now ain't none of y'all talking about none of the policies or the politics behind why you was so steadfast about Trump. What y'all thought y'all was gonna get some stimulus money? Y'all was willing to do all of that over a stimulus, try to get a stimulus check? They ain't even gonna last you a month. If they give y'all any money. So I'm sitting over here and I got a whole bunch of Trump fact checks. And I got the budget bill. And I got some other stuff about cost and tax on Medicaid, which people say it ain't gonna happen. And even the mentions of parts of Social Security receiving some cuts. This dude is even talking about, what did he say? This dude is even talking about, yeah, I got it. I got all that. But he said something about COVID again. And this was funny. Trump executive order targets COVID-19 vaccines no longer required for most U.S. students. So he left it down. He trimmed it to most U.S. students. Okay, so don't go get a vaccine and your ass catch COVID and run through you. That's fine. Don't go get vaccinated. Don't go get a flu shot. Don't go none of that. He says ending COVID-19 vaccine mandates in school. I didn't even know they had a mandate for that. Some school districts and universities continue to coerce children and young adults to take COVID-19 vaccines by conditioning their education on it. This is his claim. It went on to say all of this other shit. But since the White House fact sheet about Trump's order also says some schools, universities recently enforced or continue to enforce COVID vaccine mandates, we asked White House to identify those schools and university. We received no response. So every time that the White House makes a claim, they ask the White House, can you provide us the names of the schools and universities who've been enforcing students to get a COVID-19 vaccine, and they get no response. Broadly, no states have a requirement for students in kindergarten through 12th grade to get a COVID vaccine. No states have a requirement for students to get a COVID vaccine. And that is according to the National Academy of State Health Policy. Let me share my screen. My bad. I gotta take this thumbnail, this thing down. Man, y'all make sure y'all go over there to Kofi, man. I put the link in the chat. Show Kofi some love. He got an interview going on. Yes, I'm still beating up ABOS. So let me just go back real quick. I read this right here because the White House put out a fact sheet. Notice every time Trump says something, the White House, like, they're trying to use what Biden was using to keep people informed with what's going on. They're trying to use that same thing, except for they're promoting whatever the things that Trump are saying. However, they are not providing all the information, because when they get caught in their lies, we receive no response. So there are no mandates that are suggesting you to get a COVID-19 vaccine. All the vaccines that they continue to tell you about, measles, polio, chickenpox, you need to get them. And for people trying to get exemptions for religious reasons and all of that, go look what happened in Florida and Texas. And you see the outbreaks, and then you got people on edge on hill. I'm telling you, these people is crazy. I brought up the improper Social Security payments to the dead. That's pseudo. That's on my post. I ain't even gonna bring it up on here. I am gonna come here though to this House Budget Committee bill. Most people ain't even seen this thing, and they call it, what they call is reverse the curse budget. 25 to 34. The plan to restore physical responsibility, economic freedom, and prosperity in America. How many people seen this? You going to send me something? What you finna send me? All right, I don't see it if you sent it. All right, so part one, sounding the alarm, America's unsustainable national debt. Number two, making matters worse, reckless spending and failed economic policies. You already know this is a Republican agenda because of the verbiage that is used. Democrats don't do this to Republicans. They don't create something and then say sounding the alarm, making matters worse, playing on your emotions, lightening the way, reversing the curse. This is all Republican. They did this with the whole COVID shit as well. The Republicans did. So who's seen this? Look at this. Reversing Biden-Harris spending spree, reining in runaway mandatory spending, all of this. Now, remember, the last 2 years, what was it, the last year? I don't think that Joe Biden he didn't have a House or the Senate that he can just ram shit through. So I don't even know what they talking about, like just weird spending. And then, so here we go in this area, reigniting growth and prosperity, locking in tax cuts, unlocking all opportunities. You see things like this. We know from the proposed budget bill that's coming out, bits and pieces, Bits and pieces of that budget bill all do show that we are all going to see an increase in our taxes, and the 1% is going to see a huge decrease in their taxes. So what I'm trying to figure out from all the Trumpetts, all the FBA supporters, all of y'all who was pushing the agenda, where in the budget do you see yourself benefiting from anything that they are proposing in these bills? Now, I'm taking it off Trump. I'm taking it off Musk. I am dealing directly with their bill, what is to be passed in or signed into law. I ain't talking about individual people no more. We all know that Elon Musk is running the presidency right now. Trump ain't doing nothing. His strings is being pulled by Elon. Anytime you can have an immigrant show up in the White House and lead a press conference in the Oval Office with a sitting president not saying a damn word or being hushed by the immigrant's son is wild. So here we go. And I'm going to get back to it. But I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to just come let people know, like, bro, we got the information. We see what's going on. So tell me, where in this budget proposal do it benefit you and your family? And we can't get no fucking answer. This how you know this is Republican again. I keep telling y'all that. Make matters worse, Biden, Harris, reckless spending. They do this. Look. During the Biden administration, the first 2 years, Democrats financed their socialist agenda and vast expansion of the federal government with an unprecedented $11 trillion in spending, $6 trillion of which has been added to the national debt under the gist of COVID relief and inflation reduction. Bro, when you go fact check that, you're gonna look at them sideways and be like, bro, you just literally said this in your little budget plan, bro. And then this ain't even factual. Americans are suffering from cost of living crisis as prices have skyrocketed by 19.7%, while real wages remain at 3.4%. Y'all ain't even talking about increasing our wages. And even if you are talking about increasing our wages, you just told us that you about to raise the taxes on us. So you just really just for no reason just saying shit. That's why I played the video earlier, because their proposal wasn't even in this budget right here. Their proposal is known to people in bits and pieces. And this is the budget committee. This is how you know right here. And you got to go through. Hey, listen, I left this in the description for people that are interested in preparing themselves for any argument with stupid people that look just like me and you. It is what it is. Imagine. Where's Master giving butter biscuits at? Who the hell is Blackologist? That's funny. Oh, you said, oh, I was reading it. Send what you was going to send, Mika. We can see what it is. But let me get, I want to kind of go down, and it's just taking a minute because I got so many tabs open too. My apologies, but I really thought that I was going to be able to have a conversation with somebody on the other side, but it looked like they don't want to respond. But they got a whole lot to say on my Facebook post. That's why I ain't even commenting no more. Look at this. Watch this. Welfare enrollment in 2023 was high in many programs that at the height of the pandemic and government lockdown through 2020. As welfare enrollment has grown, welfare spending has skyrocketed. You know why welfare grew? during the height of the pandemic, during the government lockdowns, motherfuckers didn't have no jobs. Some people didn't have no jobs, bro. What you think was gonna happen? What you think was gonna happen, bro? Help me out. I'm confused, bro. This is crazy. So in 2023 alone, means tested social welfare spending a total 1.6 trillion, up from 900 billion in 2019, absorbing 72.6% of the unobligated general revenue. This translates to welfare payments received by the average work-age household in the bottom quintile of income recipients, $64,700 in 2022. This outlays billions of 2017 dollars. Look, they took you to 2017 to give you a graph. Hey, in the words of V-Note, this, hey, Sean P, this ain't even facts, Sean P. They just putting this on there. This ain't even no proof. This ain't facts. This ain't facts, Sean P. This a little data that they got on the screen. This ain't facts, Sean P. Come on, bro. It's a compilation of their data that they're presenting. Now it's our job to go in here and qualify this and make sure. But however, in a scientific article from earlier, you're gonna say something that's providing the facts that ain't facts. And that was funny. All right, moving on. Despite the massive government investment in 2022, 37.9 million people were living in poverty. Wow. So despite the fact that you had 37.9 million people living in poverty, and welfare was one of the main reasons for an increase, you're going to put that on Biden and Harris because of the pandemic, right? You mean the same pandemic that your dumbass President Orange wasn't paying attention to, that retracted research that had something to do with trying to stop the pandemic to begin with, or monitoring it, that would have gave us an opportunity to prevent a lot less deaths. I mean, a lot more deaths, and he ended up foreseeing the largest number of deaths. Tripping. But what I'm trying to ask y'all, Trumpetts, FBA, where y'all at? What the fuck? What part of the bill what part of this budget plan are you interested in, bro? Which one benefits you? Because all we hear from y'all is they trying to cut wasteful spending. It was too much money going this, that, and the third, and yada, 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 yada. Bro, quit the bullshit. Quit the motherfucking bullshit, bro. Straight up and down. Just stop with your stupidness. Stop with your stupidness, bro. Straight up. Straight up, man. We can't do it no more. We can't do the stupid no more. We got to be a lot smarter than that. A lot smarter than that, y'all. But I put the link in the chat, man. I don't want to hold up getting into this. I mean, because this is bigger than just me talking or going through something. Like, you know, we got to really deal with, you got to really deal with this facts. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really deal with the facts, bro. So I'm finna tell y'all, look at this. I'm finna tell y'all right now. With all these cuts going on and firing all these people, there will be some repercussions before anything could heal up. And all of that's gonna be determined pretty soon. All that's gonna be predetermined pretty soon. It's craziness. So look at that PPP loan, guarantee purchases. Who the hell started PPP loan? That's what I'm saying. Like, people was getting over on the government, frauding the government with the PPP loans. It wasn't no Trump. It wasn't no Biden era type shit. That shit come up out of fucking, bro. That shit come up out of them people doing that. And people talking about fraud in the government, but you Negroes was frauding the government, getting PPP loans, frauding the government by what was that? Food stamps. Come on, man. What up, Ogon?
What up, bro?
Man, coolin'. What's good with you?
I just want to goddamn touch on the subject.
Go ahead, man.
I just caught the ass in, but I be hearing you know what I'm saying, you doing the Lord's work, brother. For real. But I mean, because I just don't understand what's the hype. You know, I ain't on Facebook or nothing. I just heard you say,
right.
You know, like they going in on your Facebook, but I just don't understand the hype between what the hype for Donald Trump. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're not making $4 million a year, you should not be voting for him. And I hate to tell people which way to vote. You get what I'm saying? But come on, bro, let's be serious. Who we know making $4 million a year?
Right. Ain't nobody in our community.
Right. You know, and I consider myself, you know, pretty successful, but I'm not compared to, you know, other people. You get what I'm saying? I mean, pretty successful for how far I went with my educational level. You know, I'm a tradesman or whatever, but it's like, so people agree with cutting 70,000 jobs?
More than that. That's in one field.
You feel me, bro? So that's okay for them to start fucking with Medicare. Now we talk about niggas' grandma. We talk about mothers. We talking about my mom. You get what I'm saying? My mom's 72. My mama gets Social Security and Medicare. And they done stopped televisits. So if a nigga grandmama or mama can't move around that good who do the televisits, that's done. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about the trans issue, the LGBTQ. I don't want to hear about that because that's culture wars. We talk about stone cold policies. How has he made Big Mama them life? Shit, me. You know what I mean, bro? Our little sisters. You know, if you got a little sister, come on, bro. Ain't got a kid or two. That sister ain't got her shit together. Let's keep it real. Niggas sending cash apps over there for a niece and nephew. You know what I mean? Or a niece. That shit affected them, bro. This shit gonna dig into food stamps. Which black folk don't get it. When we look at the numbers, you can pull it up on Pew Research. We really don't benefit from social programs like that. Because they say, because what it is, in certain states, well, we in the South, we could talk for the South. If you make what they make, what's the average person make? 50,000? So she can't get food stamps. If she working at Walmart, because what's that, $24 an hour? And if she get a little overtime, I'm speaking on a single mother or a single parent, that boosts her up to 50,000. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate you doing this shit, bro, because I don't understand where the Trump hysteria coming from. It's weird to me, because when you look at it, bro, we always knew, a black older guy who was conservative, but just all these people, but I know where it's coming from because the Democrats have failed the people. Let's be honest. I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm an independent. You get what I'm saying? They fail the people. Paid family leave. I just heard you go in about how many people was homeless. In poverty. Bro, when they had the check, what it was, the child tax credit, bro, you know how many kids that shit lifted out of poverty? You get what I'm saying? That just what it was, $250, the extra $300. And you should ask them, Sean. So, you agree with them cutting the child tax credit from a single mother? You agree with that? You gotta pin them niggas down like that. So you agree with? So you don't think everybody should have health care? Universal health care, or Medicaid for all? We talk about shit that poll with the fucking with Americans, bro, at fucking 70 and 80%. Paid family leave, or the child tax credit. What else, bro? We talk about those progressive policies like that, which Trump is against. And hold up, and I'm sorry, bro. I have to say this. Wait a minute. These niggas be pro reparations, right? Though, Sean. Don't they talk about reparations? Didn't Kamala, wasn't Kamala one of the signatures for the bill for reparations? Don't
In
get me wrong,
California.
bro. Right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not by far a Democrat, or you know what I mean? Because they got bullshit with them too. They have been taken over by neocons and the fucking corporations. But we talk about the fights we can win. So just play. I was at work, I was busy. I was trying to get on. I don't know what the fuck wrong with the screen. I heard you play Tariq Nasheed
the other day, yeah.
But the nigga talk about, we don't care about the studies. Come on, bro. Let's be realistic.
Right.
You have to have the studies to get the reparation. Dumbass nigga. what gotta be there? It gotta be a historian, anthropologist. No, I ain't getting no that. An anthropologist and something else. But now he talk about, no, we don't need to study. That's mumbo jumbo. Come on, bro. Stop.
All that.
Let's be for real. So my bad. I just had to get that all, bro. Cause you gotta add these niggas, son. Are you for the child tax credit? Do you want them to cut Social Security? Do you want them to cut Medicaid? You feel me, bro? So we talking about she and her baby mama there. Oh, so you want your grandma to die? You want your grandma the goddamn can't get up medicine for her glaucoma, or fucking high blood pressure, or fuck it. Let's talk about diabetes, bro. So I go on mute. My bad, bro. Nah, that shit make me hot, bro. Cause
keep eating.
Niggas broke as fuck, bro. Shit, I'm broke. Everybody broke. You know what I mean? I don't understand, bro.
You broke up. You went on mute.
Yeah, I muted, bro. I don't want to hog the show, but I don't know but I understand where the Trump hysteria comes from. So I want to say these two. I don't want to hear that black people ain't no code. Black people are in poll. You want to know why, Sean? When you look at the exit polling, the national exit polling, black people voted the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it was a little high with males, but you know, them niggas watching Joe Rogan,
Right.
them niggas watching Aiden Ross, you know, your Kodak Black fans, which is okay. But when you talk about the sisters, bro, the sisters did the sisters did the Lord work, bro. For real. So, you know, we could talk about history, bro. We could talk about Egypt. We could talk about ABOS. We could talk about West Africa. But we got to talk about what's in front of us now. You get what I mean? Bro, niggas working for the government thinking, you know, hey, I can work here. This is my retirement. You know, I can take care of my babies. I can live a better life, bro. And they ended it.
Yeah,
It
they
ain't
just
no
fired
American
your ass.
dream.
Yeah, they just fired your ass.
Okay, baby. Right, bro.
Just like they did the goddamn general. You know what I'm saying? Like he
certified 4-star general. What a black MAGA is now. What they got to say? He don't shit now.
No, I'm gonna tell you what the Black Maga said. The Black Maga told me, no, don't try to play the race game because he fired dude, but he promoting someone, a black dude in Florida. I said, man, how many times have we seen the rodeo before? Well, we done seen these people puppet master black people in position to where they need them in because they know they can get them to do what they want them to do. We seen that during the slave trade. We seen that after colonialism. We seen that over here in the Americas. When they want to get us in line, bro, they don't use the most powerful people that we have up against them. They use the weakest ones and get them the loud. They get them all the publicity. Come on, man.
Like Eric Mays say.
How is Al Sharpton being outheard more than other people that's more influential and got a stronger voice?
Man, like Eric Mays say, long live Eric Mays. Long live Eric Mays. Handkerchief head niggas. That's who they put on the forefront, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying that Al that type of guy, but I'm just saying he wasn't supposed to be the guy, bro. He was a follower. He was Reggie to Dr. Ben. He was running errands. He was a footologist. Come on, bro. But we got Juju on the panel, y'all. Everybody give it up for Juju.
Hey, Juju, I ain't see you. My bad. I was going in.
I wanted you to continue to go in because you hitting it right on the head. I don't get it. Like we voted for against our own interests, and I know people saying like use this as an opportunity, but what opportunity though? Like we finna hit rock bottom. The economy is already finna be in shambles. Like I don't get it. You pretty much hit it on the head. I just see a lot of, our friend. I don't know if he's your friend, but our friend who does Hella Black, Hella Proud t-shirts, Sean.
I can't think of his name, but yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So he made this post. I don't know what it was supposed to mean, but it's like we're doing a whole bunch of just weird stuff. He made a comment about Jasmine Crockett and her wig. Like, oh, she paid $100,000 for the wig. I said, what's that got to do with the politics, though, my guy? So this is what we're doing now. Like you're giving coonish behavior at this point.
A wig?
Yeah, he made a whole post about her wig being $1,000. I never did get the point of that remark, but I'm like, black women are versatile like that. We use wigs as protective styles. Just because, and I mean, the better wig, the better quality, the more money. Like, what does that have to do with her politics? They were calling her ghetto, that same rhetoric they're trying to spew.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. So what burns me up is these niggas are using white men who they hate so much talking points.
Exactly.
This who says this? Who cares about the sister wig? The Democrats is failing. This is the only black woman on the front line with a voice who's fighting for the people.
Facts.
And she going in.
And it's us talking about her like that, calling her ghetto, and some other guy says some weird remark. It was the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, this what we doing now? Not hella black, hella proud. No, are you okay? Really? Yeah. So I mean, I just had to remind him. Jehudi was on the post saying, "Oh, I see you hate black women now."
Yeah, Jehudi been battling too.
I know. I see you hate black women now. Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like what we doing? What are we doing, bro? Yeah, this. Look, I'll be telling everybody, say what you want. I would love to stay here. Guess what? I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna stay here for the BS though. I'll be on the first boat. On the first boat to the islands, because like, what are you gonna do? If Obama had done any of the stuff that Eliana is doing, or even tried to do any of the stuff that Trump was doing, it would be straight impeachment. So why isn't the law working in favor of the people at this point? Like, how does that process start?
I don't know. I know people been saying that, but they got some type of something. They have to prove that Elon is in control of or divvying down instruction, right? They got to prove that, and once they're able to prove that, then I believe that they can move to have him removed and out of the way. But right now they're saying that he's not doing anything. Like, and then the Republican argument or the MAGA argument, because they don't call them Republicans, they call them MAGA. So they are an intricate piece of Donald Trump, his followers, his cult. And so MAGA is saying that he is like in a role similar to Jeff Bezos and what's our dude that used to own what's the name of Apple or whatever the name is? Not Steve Jobs. Not Steve Jobs, the other one. The humanitarian that wear the glasses, rich guy. Mike, who was over Microsoft?
Bill?
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Oh, Bill? Okay.
Yeah, so they trying to say this, that Bezos and Gates had some type of influence or something going on, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case, and so the game that they're trying to play is that. So, like I said, we gotta have the evidence to be able to do whatever it is that needs to be done to move forward. And until that happens, then we can't even really do anything. Because they ain't gonna have the proof per se.
Got it. So in the meantime, what do we do?
So the meantime, what we do is we keep being loud. We have to be loud.
That's a rhetorical question, but keep going.
Yeah, we gotta be loud. We gotta be on point. We gotta represent. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do to ensure that our voices are heard. I mean, we can't change anything because we're limited. But we damn sure can apply some pressure. But we got to get our shit together. We got to get our shit together because right now they can dangle a carrot in front of a lot of black people's face, and they gonna want that carrot. 5,000 broke black people sound real good, and that's just a temporary fix. Meanwhile, you ain't paying attention to the play behind your back because you're so consumed with the carrot being dangled in your face,
Right,
right?
Sean. That's
I
what
mean,
that's
they
come
sell
with.
for
That's come
the
with the
stimulus
transit
check,
sports. That come with the transit sports. The
$1,200.
LGBTQ shit. That's the code. Like you saying, bro. That's what's dangling in your face. Cause religious people hate gay people. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
damn right. So and at the same time, like you say, to play behind your back.
Yep.
Who cares? Worry about the wrong thing. Worry about the wrong thing. They already have restrictions and things like that of biologically born men and women sports. I don't think that was the thing to be like, oh yeah, that's why I'm going for him. I think that's kind of weird, bro. And then everything else goes to hell. Everything like overturning all
I
types
just
of
ain't seen the
legislation.
evidence I haven't seen the evidence in the budget that shows that we're going to benefit from certain tax cuts and or other areas of where we can see improvement in income. Are we shrinking the wealth gap between us and them? That is not going to happen in this administration, maybe not in any administration. But what is being done, because remember, COVID took us from being middle class Black people in America to lower class Black people in America because of the way inflation kicked. And it took lower income to poverty stricken, right? So what I mean by that is people making less than $32,000 went from low income to poverty. People that were making 100,000 before COVID, seeing they shit change around, and they ended up making less than that, and they making 60 or 70, they're considered lower class.
Right.
Bro, can and I ain't put my business out here. Bro, I paid $7,000 in taxes last year. 7,000, bro. You know what Trump paid, bro? $700 fucking dollars, bro. I ain't even did my taxes this year. My wife ain't even did my shit.
Yeah, I ain't
You
even
feel me, bro? So we talk about niggas talk about tax breaks. That's not for you.
No.
That's not for you.
No, it's gonna fall on the middle class anyway.
It's
like
not
when
for us.
Screaming about immigrants, I'm like, y'all probably wanted to keep them here because they pay into our Social Security taxes. They pay a lot of money.
And
It's in the billions.
They don't fucking
and they don't benefit.
They don't benefit. So you absolutely right. I'm glad you made that point.
Yeah, because we harp on that. And I'm like, they have to pay taxes like we do. They get that taken out their check like every other citizen American, and they're not. So they can't even benefit from it. They gotta go through hoops actually, And the ones y'all say y'all mad about, that's like percentage-wise, very minute percentage of immigrants who are criminals or who are violently dangerous. You know how small that is? I don't get it. Because like my homegirl Tika, you might not know her, Sutek know her. She's born in Jamaica and she essentially was an immigrant. She's like, how rigid we have to be, we spit wrong, they sending us back. So we really want to be here. We can't even like move the wrong way. Like that's not how it works. And if you look at the data, it shows it. So, it was this what they call it, this made up hype, fake outrage. It was a whole bunch of fake outrage. Just a whole bunch of fake outrage, bro.
But listen to this though. Listen to the immigrant shift. So Mexicans, so you removing or protection for Haitians, protection for Mexicans and other immigrants that are here in the States. But then you're going to open a path or a gateway for South Americans to migrate to America and be able to establish themselves. That's what you want, and it's not even the South Africans. It is the colonizing Euro
Russians,
centered German,
Argentinians. Yeah,
all of them white people.
You don't ever see them locked up.
They are literally finna make these white people eligible to come replace the people that they're discriminating against. And then they remove discrimination laws, but you finna tell me that you're not really discriminating against Haitians? You're not discriminating against the Mexicans?
Of course.
And these dudes build our houses. They do all the shit that none of us want to do. We ain't climbing no motherfucking ladders.
Harvesting them cabbages.
Come on.
Potato fields.
We ain't
doing
trying
all that. Strawberry fields. That's all we got in Florida. So I don't know what people was talking about. Oh, the immigration problem. I'm like, if anybody should be screaming, it should be like Florida, because come on. We not
niggas is
about
not
that.
niggas is not finna work them.
No, niggas not.
Let's be for real.
We
Niggas
not
don't know
doing
what
that
no
work.
hard work is till you picking them fucking straw. Man, oh my God. We talk about
Correct.
Oh boy.
In the sun.
Fucking with them oranges.
Yeah.
Barely hay.
Yep.
Boy.
12 hours a day.
14 and 14 sometimes when the day's long.
Yeah. So I don't know what people. I keep trying to tell people, y'all is goofy and dumb. I'm trying to be nice about it, but that's the best. Y'all don't know how, y'all don't know how economics works. Y'all don't know how the economy works. Those jobs are like the underpinnings of the economy. You feel me? Like that's the bottom tier, right? And if you like erase that workforce, everything that stands on top of it is gonna crumble. Ain't gonna be no product. Ain't gonna be no need to ship. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And you can simply Google how this stuff works, and y'all refuse to verify the information. I say y'all, the people who say stupid stuff about, the immigrants being here and they taking up all our whatever. No, they're not. They're not. If you know how I know,
They not.
There's plenty resources out there. Niggas ain't going out their house to get them. What are y'all talking about?
Hey, who's working at McDonald's? Who working at McDonald's right now? How many black people in McDonald's?
Lots of them.
Yeah, but who dominating it now? Like right where I am, I'm in between two McDonald's, and I go into both of them.
Some Mexican women.
Yeah,
Mexican women all up in there. Man, I think
killing the game.
Come on, man. They at the first window and the second window, cleaning the table, mopping the floors, on the fries, in the bathrooms.
Only be 3 of them there, and they do everything. Yeah, you read about that.
Man, you got black people in there. They're on the register. They're on the register overseeing something crazy. That's it. Like, man, we ain't got to play this game. Like, that's crazy for people to think the way that they're thinking about this, and then having the audacity to try to like treat people like a certain way. Like them people, they've been here long enough. You know what I'm saying? People got these people renting from them. You know what I'm saying? They rent people houses.
Mm-hmm.
You got that going. There's other business that might be transpiring between us and them. Like you trying to do all of that. They might be fixing cars.
They're part of our labor force too. When we have small businesses, come on, we hiring them too. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got a janitorial businesses or whatever. Shoot, you looking for a certain type because they're gonna work hard and not be complaining. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna get the job done. I know this for a fact, working in the industry, being a supervisor. It's saturated from the head all the way down. They're usually South American, Mexican, whatnot. So, and a lot of them, they're not yet citizens. They may have their work permits, but they're not yet citizens. So,
and I just talked to one. I literally just talked to one 2 days ago at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked if she had she was trying to get some business taken care of, and I asked about her personal information, and she was like, immigration hadn't given me that yet.
Yeah.
All I got is an ID.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, so you know what I mean? We know you ain't legal.
Right. You know she's not.
No. But you trying to contribute to society.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Situations.
Why would we have a problem? Yeah, I would shut up. I wouldn't, be feeling a certain way if I saw like some immigrant Germans or Russians, Argentinians, you feel me? Norwegians. You don't ever see that in those camps. You never see that. It's like ICE aren't going for those immigrants because why wouldn't we see those? Why don't we ever see those? If you've seen one, please raise your hand because I'll be looking and I haven't. So I'm thinking it's deliberate and they're picking and choosing. They're cherry picking. So
yep.
Straight cherry picking. Somebody made a joke to me. It's funny. We went through all that trying to disprove Obama was born here. And now y'all literally have a vice president who was born in Africa. All that. Elon Musk is not the vice president, but she is. Have y'all seen what's the name? Have y'all seen the vice president? What is his name?
Pence.
What?
Pence.
Is that his name? Pence? That's not his last name.
No, that's his name.
That's not his last name. Somebody put the vice president's last name in the chat.
Wow. Pence or some shit.
You don't even know it.
I think it is not Pence. JD Vance. Yeah, Vance. I kept saying Pence. Shit is damn the same.
Y'all ain't heard from him no more. When's the last time y'all seen JD Vance?
He said that stupid shit about in that thing, and he had a whole conference meeting and they said that dumbass shit.
Which one? Which dumbass shit? He does not need to talk. He's wild, bro. JD Vance. So y'all know I ain't seen or heard from the guy.
Nah, he said that dumbass shit and he blamed Ukraine for their issues with Russia.
Oh.
And people in the UK shit was like, what the fuck?
Boy, it's funny.
So he said that dumbass shit, then it was what it was with that.
Come on, black people. I'm gonna need us to do better though.
We ain't
For sure. For sure. It's crazy. No, Sean, you've been cooking though on your posts lately. You've been cooking with hot grease for sure.
He called it CPAC. Yeah, he spoke at the European conference last weekend and he was horrible. His speech was trash. He's one of the founders of the what's that shit? The Project 2025.
Oh, okay.
What up, Willie? Man, we can barely hear you, dude.
Hold, let me turn my volume up. Sean P. Man, I was listening earlier. I didn't mean to interrupt y'all. I was listening earlier, but my daughter had her.
You meant to interrupt. You meant to interrupt us.
No, I didn't. When you said what up, Willie, I'm responding to what you said.
You good?
Go.
Anyway, when the most ignorant person on YouTube was having a conversation, I was in my daughter's equestrian challenge stuff, so I couldn't listen. I had to get off of it because you're in a room full of white people. I can't, I can't risk hearing you wilding out. And people are like, oh, that's that. We can't get them no money for horseback riding, so I had to turn it off.
Don't mess that up. She's
I
an
was mad. I was
equestrian.
like,
That's pretty
damn.
awesome. Shout out to your
Yeah,
baby girl.
she's this her second year equestrian training, and this was her first event, and she finished fourth place, fourth out of eight
Okay.
stages. So
That's congratulations. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
I love
congratulations.
watching the event, the equestrian events in the Olympics. I love horses. They're so beautiful, majestic. And that's such a beautiful sport, you know, just the poise that the riders have to have. It's lots of skill. What'd you say, Sean?
I didn't say no.
Greatness in the making. Facts. That's pretty dope.
But Willie then came on here, started the shit about his daughter. You know what I'm saying, bro? What I'm talking about.
He came up here fishing for compliments. Now let me stop. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, came up here to get us to show his daughter some love and shit on the live stream. So he can say, look, baby, listen, they talking about you. Yeah, what kind of shit is that, Willie?
We just kidding, Willie. Shout out to baby girl though.
Goddamn.
We kidding.
Boy. We always count on pseudo ass Willie.
Who did you have up here? That was you had. I came late like Ogun. Sorry.
Oh, that was that was Vino. Vino was on the panel, and he couldn't understand how they could trace people's genetic ancestry back 18,000 years, et cetera, et cetera. Like he doesn't listen to the information because he's too busy trying to ask questions while motherfuckers trying to get him some understanding, and therefore he will always be lost because he's just stupid.
Yeah, willfully ignorant at this point. He doesn't want to know better. He's content and living in the illusion. What happened to the galaxy?
He definitely delusional.
Yes. Oh boy.
Look, he definitely there was several words he couldn't say.
How did he say it? He couldn't say colonialism.
Colonizerism, colorism, nigga is a ism. Cola, Sean P. Sean P. Colonialism. Colonialism, Sean P. Colorism, colorism.
That's horrible.
Sean P. is a colorism.
Stick to the words you know. Jesus. He said negrophobic. I felt that. For real. I said colorist.
We asking for the source. Got the hell up out of dog. Share the source. Pew.
You say you ran?
Man, we said share the source. Share the source. It's on my channel. It's on my channel, Sean P. Just everybody check my show out. Come over my show. Nah, we ain't doing
He just be on here clout chasing. Trying to promote his whack, weak, dumb behind show. Don't nobody want to hear that. Psycho techno babble.
He be having two people listening to his stuff. And one of them is Honey Clark and the other one is his cell phone.
Don't do Honey Clark.
He the two people.
Do not do her. Leave. Leave her alone. God, that's funny.
I bet you she over there right now arguing with him straight up. Watch. I'm gonna find out.
Yo, you stupid. That's funny. He's holding the microphone.
Hold on. Let me hold on. Let me do this.
Pure black. Oh God, you got me crying.
I need to try to play the video real quick.
Okay.
That's
funny. He said, "Honey, clap right there." Y'all don't do my girl.
Is she live for real? Is she live for real, bro? Let me know if she live, bro. I'm trying to pull that
Don't
up.
do Denise. Leave her alone.
Not might be live. She could be over there with him.
Black is hilarious. He ain't got no mics there. He said only nigga on YouTube. Damn, that's funny. Say be holding it.
Hey, let me know if y'all can hear this. Cause I don't wanna get a strike or nothing. But it says the name of the video is opening YouTube.
We can hear it.
All right, okay. So this is lawmakers in New Zealand have suspended a vote on a law redefining the country's founding agreement between indigenous Maori and the British Crown after members of the parliament start performing the haka. So let's see.
8 votes in favour. Te Pāti Māori. E ono ngā kōti e whakahi. Hawana! Hapaka manu whiriti a koe!
Yo, this Congress lady led a chant, and the whole Congress ripped off into their indigenous shit, all the indigenous ones, and all the British people are sitting there looking at them like, what the fuck we supposed to do with this?
Yeah, and that haka is no joke. It's a powerful chant.
Yeah, they ain't playing. And the British Parliament, because the British Parliament is like trying to get some straightening, and they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Shit, we indigenous to this outland.
Yeah.
Chant.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna hear the rest of it real quick. See. This white dude, you should see this white dude face. He tried to sit there calm as fuck while they sit there doing that shit in his face. Boy. Oh, they got 2 videos of this shit. Damn. They ain't playing. And then he rips up the bill. He rips up the bill. So when he rips up the bill, they started they chant. A controversial bill to radically alter the way the country's treaty between Maori and the Crown was interpreted and how it was labeled. Oh, they said, hell no.
First, party votes.
Oh, it's a whole 2-minute video. I would share that with y'all, man, but y'all boys don't even deserve to see there. He said, basically, that's what we got to do. It said, Monica said, watch how they cut up when the lawmakers violate their treaty and watch the white guy face. That's what we got to do. We gotta act up. When they ain't respecting us, and now we gotta have outrage in their space and place.
I absolutely agree.
Juju, they say they look like you beaming in from outer space.
Oh. Well, they're gonna beam right there. That's the holographic light. That's the holographic light. I'm not really here, but I'm here. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? I'm warping. Let me stop. It's because my ceiling light is right there, and I'm like kind of right under it. So it has that. Yeah. It's got that soul glow thing going on.
That's crazy.
That's how them pseudos be, though. Ghetto guardian angel. Oh, that's funny. I grant you one wish. No, let me stop. Yeah, my hair is wrapped, you know, to keep it straight. So I don't want to comb it out. So I just put on a hat. That's it. You know.
Yeah, my hair is
like
wrapped.
I'm bald-headed. You stupid, Sean. Don't say a word.
They said nothing. But look, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? We've been live for a couple of hours. I didn't want to go too long. I want to let y'all catch up on the pseudos. Plus, I went over a little bit too long because I forgot Kofi had an interview. I really don't be trying to go live if Kofi live. So I want to catch Kofi's interview, which ended about 26 minutes ago. I need y'all to really go over there and like Kofi's stream for me. He didn't crank back up the Warrior Scholars interview series.
Yeah.
So I really, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all will catch up with that. What up, Midwest? I need everybody to hit the link that I just dropped in the chat.
Yeah, that's
and
Eleanor he interviewed tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure y'all support Eleanor from Arkansas, RBG, with Obafemi. They do great work out there. So definitely go support them.
Yeah, so go peep that out, and make that happen. Yeah, make sure y'all support it. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Good night, Sean.
All right,
Peace
be cool.
in the chat.
Yeah. Y'all have a good one, man. It's your boy Sean P. The place to be with Juju. We out.
How the fuck y'all find an African in my fucking family, but
God
y'all ain't
by
find
his
y'all?
own genealogy.
Shut the fuck up. That don't make sense, for one. Listen, y'all don't know what y'all
I
did.
don't feel like you standing on business.
And y'all lied on me, because y'all won't even know if that's me. And if y'all can trace that shit back to it's me, it's only 2 people in YouTube that got my information.
Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of this track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us honestly. You ain't a Cherokee, nope. You ain't a Chickasaw, nope. You ain't a Blackfoot, nope. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught that ABOS slipping with his genealogy. Now he's a con and I ain't talking about a singer. I'm coming for the top ABO leader. He ain't a teacher, he's a preacher. He can't keep up, so we leave him. Yeah, he died by his own genealogy. You ain't an Indian, you ain't got a lot of me. Half of the track, best believe you lose a lot of sleep. Probably because you made it up to us possibly. You ain't a Cherokee, no. You ain't a Chickasaw, no. You ain't a Blackfoot. Nigga, get lost. You just a fool with low comprehension. So I gotta come through with the henchmen. NAC, Sean P, Shy Son, Lucky. Don't forget Jay, got no time to play. Caught an ABOS slipping off his genealogy. Now he's a con. OTK. TKO. Now he's a con. OTK. You died. TKO. Genealogy.